Hey everybody, welcome back to Pastor TK Cards. Just wanted to jump on here and do a video. I'm going to show you some cards here in a little bit that I've gotten in the last week or so, but I've had a couple different experiences in the last few weeks in the hobby, and just want to talk about what do you enjoy most about the hobby. I haven't had a lot of time to give to my collection the last couple weeks. My daughter graduated college, so we were celebrating her, spending time with her. We've had company in town. My son's home from college and leaves later this week for the summer, so trying to spend as much time with him as we can as well. And obviously those things are more important. But if you'd asked me a year ago before I started collecting again what my favorite part of the hobby was, I probably would have said breaking open boxes and selling and enjoying breaking wax and unopened product. And I always wanted to build the set, and I enjoyed that too, but I would say I enjoyed the opening up the product but more than anything. But now, since I've been back almost for a year now, into this month will be a year that I've been back collecting, I've got to say that set building is much more fun to me than opening up new product. I'm still opening up some new product here and there. Got a couple orders on the way from Topps, the Series 2 boxes that come out in June. I'll get some of that, and I know I'm going to do Topps Archives. But what's really neat for me to see is I love Topps Heritage, I love the flagship products, and I love Topps Archives. And if you think about it, all that has to do with set building. The Heritage points back to older set, vintage sets, and the Archives has older set designs, and then the flagship product, I just want to build that set, so it's kind of connected. But so I would have said it was breaking new product, and now it's certainly set building. But even how you do that, there's different things that are more fun than others. I've got some cards here I'll show you that I ordered off of eBay. It's cards I need for my 1965 top set, and I'll tell you, it's fun to look at those, order those. And these came from Greg Moore's Cards, and so with that particular eBay auction house, I can trust that they're going to be quality cards, well described, good additions to the set that I'm working on, 1965 Topps. But that's not near as much fun as I had in the last week. I went by the closest card shop to me is about an hour away. I really like the place, and when I first went in there, I was still learning about the changes in the hobby. So his wax prices, his box prices were kind of high, and I thought, man. And then I realized things had changed and it was different. And so I've never bought any unopened product from him, but really over the last few months, he's been buying a lot of vintage, and he keeps a lot of loose vintage in his value box that I've picked up a lot of commons for my sets, and he's got a nice little vintage showcase there that it's a lot of fun to look through and think through. And I actually bought some cards there earlier this week that I'll show you in a little bit as well. And so I tell you, I enjoy opening product, but I much more enjoy building sets. I'm glad to buy cards on eBay, and I'm excited when I get them in, especially from trusted dealers on eBay. But I had more fun in about 30 to 45 minutes at my local card shop going through a value box that had some 65 Topps commons in them. I had a lot of other years too, so I had to look through about 6 rows of cards, and I found about 150 or so 65 Topps cards in there that were in the card holders. And I lost my words there for a minute, and I put them in order, and then I was walking through and finding the ones I needed on my set needs list. And that 45 minutes was some of the most fun I've had in the hobby in the whole time I've been back. Just finding cards, looking at cards, and marking cards off the set needs list that I need. It's just the simple purity of the hobby, I think. Not that everything else is impure in any way. It's just what I really enjoy, that in person. Talking baseball cards with people in person is wonderful. The next best thing to that, I think, as far as community, is watching your collections on YouTube, and you commented on my collection on YouTube, watching Baseball Collector today in his new card room. I was incredibly excited for him, and I've never met him in real life. We've talked on the phone once, and he's an incredibly nice guy, it seems. But as far as really knowing him, I don't know him, but I was as excited as if one of my best friends had gotten into just a neat place like that. And so it's just fun. It's fun. And what do you enjoy the most? I'm telling you, for me, it's not opening product anymore. I enjoy it. It's fun. But I tell you what, I enjoy it even more when I do it and when I open product with my wife and my children. And I don't know that they could even really care much about it at all, but they enjoy it with me, and I enjoy them doing that with me as well. And I enjoy building my set through eBay. It's really, really great that I can do that that easily. But I really enjoy it so much more when I can stand at the card shop and just, I was there less than an hour, but it was just some of the most fun I had in the entire week. And then going and looking at the showcase and picking up some of these cards I picked up from my local card shop just the other day. It was just fun. I was there for probably 40 minutes, but it was just a great time. But then still just that personal interaction. I've made some friends locally that I know in my church and in my community and in other places where I have to go in my normal routine. And we don't talk about baseball cards every time, but it's fun to have somebody that you know enjoys the hobby as much as you do to share that with and to talk through that. My buying slowed down a little bit. I really enjoy my local card shop in-person type activities, and I'm planning on going to a card show, the Dallas show, in September with a friend. And I'm kind of saving as much of my money as I can what I sell on eBay. I spent a little bit at the local card shop this last week and a half, but for the most part, I've bought very little on eBay. It's really slowed down, and I want to do most of my transactions in person. It just feels more fun. I'll still be picking up some stuff on eBay, buying some product to open. I still enjoy those things, but the things that I enjoy the most are the in-person activities, seeing the cards as I'm getting ready to buy them, building my sets, and the community and the joy of sharing the hobby with other friends. And so I'm going to turn the camera around, show you some of the cards I picked up, some off of eBay and some from my local card shop. And I would love to hear from you. What's your favorite thing to do in the hobby? Is it going to shows, or is it going to your card shop? Is it opening product? Is it the community? I think the community is going to be the top for most people, at least those of us that collect vintage and have that type of nostalgia connected to it. I'd love to hear your thoughts and see what you think as well. And so check out these cards. I'm still working on my 65 set, and honestly, I hadn't even got the complete number of cards that I need yet as far as the exact number, but picked up a few off of auction from Greg Moore's cards. And really, if you want good quality samples of vintage 50s, 60s, 70s cards, Greg Morris is great. You can trust their valuation of the cards. They ship in a timely manner. You're going to pay a little bit of a premium over just buying some cards other places. But I've never had a card come from them that didn't match what they said it was going to match. Picked up this ERA Leaders, American League ERA Leaders card. Picked up the Frank Howard card. St. Louis Cardinals team card. Team cards are tough in vintage sets. They don't come, it's harder to find them. A lot of times they're checklist as well. This one's not, but this is a really good copy of the St. Louis Cardinals. And they were the National League pennant winners that year. Some of these are just commons and minor stars. There's nothing major in here. Got the Cubs team card. Ricky Stars of the Angels. Here's a nice one, Joe Torre, number 200 in the set. That's a nice card that I picked up. One of the nicer ones I got in this lot. Bobby Klaus. Just good, nice cards. Another thing I really enjoy too is when I get these, putting them in my binder. There's some level of satisfaction and just entertainment just putting them in the binder. Listen, it doesn't have to be loud and fancy and lights and bells and whistles. That's what I love about this hobby. It can just be simple and just easy to have a good time in the hobby. Clay Dalrymple of the Phillies. Love it. Hat on backwards. Bill Henry. Solid pitcher for the Reds. Ricky Stars for the Dodgers. Crawford and Werhaus. Gary Geiger. Here's another type of card that's tough to get in good condition in vintage sets, and that's just a good solid checklist. This is a nice 6 series checklist. Card 443. I don't have to have perfect checklist, but I really, in my binder set, I don't want marked checklist for the most part. All right, Jackson. And Jack Bolchin. Another card with Dodgers rookie stars. They had a lot of rookie stars that year. I love the 65 design. I'm going to tell you, when I was collecting before a year ago, I was not a fan, but I think my mindset is just so much more vintage than it was then, and it has really grown on me. Excited to be working on this set. Probably going to be somewhere around 125, 150 cards left. Still got some low-hanging fruit, not too expensive cards that I can pick up, but I'm going to try to do a lot of those at the Dallas show. Hoping there's some good vintage dealers that have the material, the albums and stuff to be able to fill in your set, some set building dealers there at the Dallas show. Picked up, this is from my local card shop. Went there on Monday, spent about an hour, and I always go through his value bins and look at the Phillies stuff. This is a 1960 Phillies team card. I was glad to pick that up. And then he, like I said, he's had a lot more in the display cases, and I was trying to get cards that I needed to work on my set runs that I'm working on right now, and I'm basically working on the 65 and the 74. And the only card that I bought 6 nice cards out of his display case. But the only one I bought that I actually needed for my set was, or for the set that I'm working on right now, because reality is I plan on doing all these sets at some point, and so I'll have them when I get there. But this nice PSA 7 of the 1974 Topps Billy Williams, working on the 74 set. I think I need about 60 of those. I went through a couple lots and got them all sorted, got them in the binder. I've got my needs list on my phone. I hadn't counted the exact number. But this is one less that I need for the 74 set. Then as I work my way, I'm going to go from, that was the newest to the oldest in this display case. And really had good prices on these too. I checked the comps on eBay, and he was either right at comps or below comps, and didn't have to pay taxes or shipping because I paid cash. Picked up this nice copy of 1962 Topps Brooks Robertson, a PSA 6. Brooks Robertson's a guy, I'm going to do his run. Just a great third baseman. Really think he's pretty undervalued for as good a player as he was. Just not greatly expensive in the hobby, but just really like that Brooks Robinson card. And all right, this next card I bought, it's not the best grade. I think it's a good looking card for its grade, but it was in the showcase. I think he had $30. I paid $30 for this card, and then I got a little bit of discount at the end on top of everything. But when we were negotiating, I got this card for $30, and it's the first of this player that I've ever owned, and it's a 1961 Topps Stan Musial. It's a 2, but it's a good-looking 2. It's not terribly off-centered. Card's in good shape. No major flaws. Corners are decent, but, I mean, a little bit of rounding on the top right and bottom left. But it's not beat to pieces as a 2. And I was just really excited. I may upgrade this at some point and sell this one, and just to have a card of Stan Musial, that was fun. I felt really good about that. That was a fun purchase. Then this next card, I love the Rookie Cup cards, and I don't know I need this. It's not a high grade, but again, I think it's a good looking card for the grade. I like the card. 1968 Topps Tom Seaver All-Star Rookie in a PSA 3. Looks really good on the front. Decent centering on the front, top to bottom, left to right. Corners are in good shape. Nothing major there. A little bit more off-centered top to bottom on the back, but that's the back. But just a good copy of a neat card. Tom Seaver, his second-year card. And just really fun to have that one. These last 2 cards that I picked up are 50s cards. My first graded cards from the 1950s. I'd never had any cards in a grade, in a slab from 1950. And I picked them up mainly, I'll tell you this, mainly because, well, I like them. I mean, they're good cards, and they were cool cards, and they were well-priced cards in his display case. But my dad's a Dodgers fan, and I really picked them up so I could show them to my dad when I go visit him this summer. And my mom and dad, we see him a couple times a year now. And he loves the Dodgers, and here's one of his favorite pitchers growing up, 1958 Topps Don Drysdale in a PSA 4. Like I said, these are the first 2 cards I've owned in a slab that are from the 1950s. Just a nice-looking card. Glad to have that. Fun. And this next one was the most expensive card I picked up, but still got a good price. I looked up the comps and got a good price, was happy with the purchase, and It's the rookie card, 1954 tops of Tom Lasorda, or Tommy. Like I said, my dad's a Dodgers fan. I remember Tommy Lasorda growing up watching Dodgers games with my dad, and that's another joy of baseball cards, man, that I enjoy, is just the nostalgia, the memories. Baseball brings fathers and sons together and gives us something to talk about that's fun and innocent, and even to talk junk sometimes. I remember 1983 was one of the earlier postseasons that I remember. I remember 1980, my first World Series that I remember. But in '83, the Phillies beat the Dodgers in the NLCS, and I remember being excited that my team beat my daddy's team, just because it was fun. But the only reason I bought this card now, like I said, I would have bought it eventually when I worked on the 54 set at some point, probably years from now. But there's one card that I won't need when I get to working on it, and that's the Tommy Lasorda. But I mainly bought it because I saw it and it made me think of my dad and his love for the Dodgers, and I thought it'd be cool to show it to him. And so those are the cards I picked up at the card shop. And again, down in the comments, let me know where do you have the most fun? What's the most fun for you? Opening product, hanging out with friends, trading, building sets, going to a card shop, going to card shows. What brings you the greatest joy in this hobby of ours? I appreciate you watching. Until next time.